Hi, ladies and gents. Today, you and I are going to be continuing to practice solving those two-step problems. So let's go watch our visual learning video to get us started.
You can use bar diagrams to help you show the parts of a math problem. Mia sees 15 yellow birds and 16 red birds. Some birds fly away, and now Mia sees 14 birds. How many birds flew away? This is a two-step problem. Let's think about this two-step problem. What is the first step?
First, we need to find out how many birds there were when she first saw the birds.
The first step is to find how many birds Mia saw in all. What is the second step?
Then we have to figure out how many birds flew away for there to be 14 birds left.
The second step is to find how many birds flew away. You need to solve the first step in order to solve the second step. How do you find the answer to the first step?
Select your answer.
We need to find out how many birds in all first.
Mia saw 15 yellow birds and 16 red birds. You add 15 plus 16. 15 plus 16 equals 31. You need to regroup when you add 15 and 16. Mia sees 31 birds in all. How do you find the answer to the second step? How do you find how many birds flew away?
Now we're going to take the total number of birds and subtract the 14 birds that are left, and that's going to tell us how many flew away.
You start with the answer to the first part, 31. You know that there are 14 birds left. Then you subtract 14 from 31. 31 minus 14 equals 17. You need to regroup when you subtract 14 from 31. The answer is 17. There are 14 birds left after 17 fly away. You used bar diagrams to help you solve the two-step problem.
Bar diagrams help you see the parts and the whole in each step of the problem.
Okay, let's grab those workbooks and do some practice. Okay, we're going to do the problems on page 416 in our workbooks, so go ahead and grab those now. And then once you have your pencil and you're ready to go, let's solve this guided practice problem here together. Okay, it says complete the equations to solve. There are some boys painting and 9 girls painting. In all, 17 children are painting. Then some more boys come to paint. Now there are 15 boys painting. How many more boys come to paint? So there are 2 steps to this. Okay, so our first step is that we know there are 9 girls painting and there are 17 children in all. We need to figure out how many boys there are when we first started. So I'm going to draw a little bar diagram down here to help me. So I know 17 children in all, that's my total, so it's going to go at the top. And then I know that there are 9 girls, and then I need to find out how many boys. So this is girls right here, and this side is going to be the boys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 17 minus 9, and that's going to tell me how many boys there were when we first started. Let's see, 17 minus 9 is, what is it, 8? So that means there are 8 boys and 9 girls when we first start. So I'm going to fill this in. This is my equation. 8 boys plus 9 girls equals 17 children in all. That's the first step. That's what they were when we first started the problem. Now it says then some more boys come to paint. Now there are 15 boys. So let's plug in the numbers that we know in our second equation. We know that in all there are 15 boys because it says now there are 15 boys in total. We know that the sum boys is 8 because that's from right here. It's from our first problem. We know 8 boys plus some number more boys that come to join is going to equal 15 boys in all. So for the second part, I'm just going to draw another little bar diagram. So I know there are 15 boys in all. And then I know that there were 8, and then some number came to join, and now there's 15 total. So I'm going to do subtraction again. I'm going to do 15 minus the 8 boys that we started with, and that's going to tell me how many came to join. So what is 15 minus 8? 7. So we know that there were 8 boys starting, and then 7 more boys came to join, which meant that there were 15 boys in all. So let's see what the final question is that we need to answer. How many more boys come to paint? We know 7 more boys come to paint. So that's our final answer. Let's go watch one more quick video.
A two-step problem. It's exactly what it sounds like. You're given a problem and you solve the first step, and then use that to solve one more step after that. I have 8 red toy cars and 6 blue toy cars. If I give my friend Malcolm 7 toy cars, how many will I have left? That's a lot of information. So what do we have to do here? Let's break this problem up into 2 steps. What's the first step? Let's figure out how many toy cars I had to start with. Let's use an addition frame. I had 8 red cars and 6 blue cars. 8 plus 6 equals 14. Okay, great. Now what? Find the second step. Figure out how many I have left after I give Malcolm 7 cars. So, in other words, I need to find 14 minus 7. This time, we'll use a subtraction frame, with 14 being my total and 7 being what I know. I don't have enough ones to subtract, so I regroup 1 10 and 10 ones, and then voila! 14 minus 7 equals 7. After I give Malcolm 7 cars, I have 7 cars left. I solved both steps, and the answer makes sense. Sometimes one step is all you need, but sometimes you need one more step to get there. No matter how many you need, as long as you break it down and use what you know, you'll get the right answer every time.
Okay, we're going to do a few more problems together. So let's go ahead and turn the page. Now we're going to be on page 417, and we're going to do number 2 together first. So make sure you are on page 417, you have your pencil, and you're ready to do these problems with me. Remember, you're supposed to be doing this with me, okay? So it says, solve each problem any way you choose. Show your work. Very important. Show our work. Number 2, Jake has 16 toy cars. Lydia has 5 fewer toy cars than Jake. Remember, fewer means less. So she has 5 less cars than Jake. How many toy cars do they have in all? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We know that Jake has 16 toy cars. We know that Lydia, do we know how many cars she has? No, we don't know how many cars she has. So that's our first step. We need to figure out how many cars she has, right? So let's see. We know she has 5 less toys than Jake. So if we take our 16 toy cars that we know Jake has, and we subtract 5, that's going to tell us what 5 less is, which is how many cars that Lydia has. So what is 16 minus 5? That's 11, because 6 minus 5 is 1, and 110 minus nothing is 110. So Lydia has 11 toy cars. Okay, we solved the first step. Now they want to know how many toy cars do they have in all. So this is the second step. This is where we're going to take Jake's 16 toy cars and add it to Lydia's 11 toy cars. And that's going to tell us how many they have all together. So I'm going to stack up my numbers. Remember, you can do this addition however you like. I'm just going to choose to stack them up to solve it because I'd like to do it that way. So 6 ones plus 1 is 7. And what's 110 plus 110? 2 tens. So all together, Jake has 16 cars, Lydia has 11, and that's a total of 27 toy cars. And that's what we're going to put down here as our answer. We solved 2 different steps, and it was super quick, wasn't it? Nice and easy. I want you to take a look at number 3. I'm going to read it for you, and then you're going to solve it, and then come back to me when you're all done. But let's see what they want you to do. Sandy has 12 balloons. Tom has 11 more balloons than Sandy. Some of Tom's balloons popped. Some. And now he has 14 balloons. How many balloons popped? Okay. Take your time. See if you can figure out the first step, solve it, figure out the second step, solve it, and then find your final answer, and then come back to me when you're all done, okay? Take your time, friends. Y'all ready? Okay, let's see what I know. I know that Sandy has 12 balloons. So Sandy has 12. I know that Tom has, oh, I don't know how many balloons Tom has. It says he has 11 more, but that doesn't tell me exactly how many. I need to solve that. That's my first step. So I know Tom has 11 more balloons than Sandy. More means you're adding on, okay? So I'm gonna take Sandy's 12 balloons and I'm gonna add 11 more to it, and that's gonna tell me how many balloons Tom has. So 2 plus 1 is 3, and 1 10 plus 1 10 is 2 10s. Okay, Tom has 23 balloons. So I know that Tom has 23 balloons and Sandy has 12. That was my first step. All done with the first step. Some of Tom's balloons popped and now he has 14 balloons. Okay, how many balloons popped? So now I need to take Tom's 23 balloons and I need to find out how many popped. I know that there's only 14 left, so what I'm going to do is do 23 minus 14, and that's going to tell me how many of his balloons popped. So let's see, 3 minus 4, can't do that, I don't have enough, so I'm going to regroup. Instead of having 2 10s, I'm going to have 1 and take those 10 ones over to my ones column. So now I don't have 3 ones, I have those 3 ones plus 10 more ones, which is 13 ones. Now I can do some subtraction. 13 take away 4 is 9. And 110 minus 110 is 0 10s. So my answer is 9. 9 of Tom's balloons popped. He had 23, 9 of them popped. Now he has 14 left. So my final answer is 9 balloons popped. Okay, we're gonna come down here and do number 4 together. It says 25 wolves howl together in the woods. 14 wolves join them. Then 22 wolves run away. How many wolves are left? Okay. Well, let's see, we know that we start with 25 wolves. Okay, that's how many there are to start with. And then we know that 14 wolves join them. So let's start by adding up how many wolves joined and see how many we have now that those 14 joined them. So I had 25 and then 14 joined, which means that we're gonna add on, right? So let's see, 5 plus 4 is what? 9. And 2 10s plus 1 more 10 would be 3 10s. So after those 14 wolves joined them, there are now 39 wolves. That was our first step. Let's see what our second step is. Then 22 wolves run away, and we want to know how many are left. So I'm going to take my 39 wolves, and I'm going to subtract the 22 that ran away, because when somebody runs away, you're not adding them to your group, you're going to subtract them from your group. So let's see, 9 minus 2, that's how much? 7. And 3 10s minus 2 10s is just 1 10. So after the 22 wolves run away, we know that there are 17 wolves left. And guess what, friends? We're actually going to do number 5 together too, because if we look at it, it says explain how you solved item number 4. So I want us to work on explaining how we solved something. So remember, you're going to write this out with me. Let's think, what did we do first? Well, let's look at our work. We took the 25 wolves that we started with, and we added the 14 that joined them to find how many wolves there were. So let's write that out. We're going to say, first, I added to find 25 plus 14 equals 29. 29 wolves in all. And remember, if you need to pause me, you can pause me to catch up with me when you're done. Now let's see what we did next. Then we took how many wolves in all, which was 39. Oh, I need to fix mine. I said 29. 39. We need to take that 39 wolves and we subtracted the 22 that ran away. So let's write that out. Then 22 wolves ran away. So I subtracted 39 minus 22 equals 17. There are 17 wolves left. Okay. See how easy that was? It doesn't take a whole lot of time to explain your work. You just have to look at it step by step when you're solving and when you're explaining. Let's go ahead and turn the page and you're going to do one more problem for me. Okay, you're going to do number 6 for me. Let's see what it says. It says, Tim bakes 24 more muffins than Gina. Gina bakes 13 muffins. Lee bakes 16 fewer muffins than Tim. How many muffins does Leah bake? There's going to be more than one step to this problem, so take it slow, take your time, draw a bar diagram if you'd like to, and then come back to me when you've found your final answer and we'll double check it. Okay, let's see what I know. So I'm going to write out T for Tim, a G for Gina, and an L for Leah. And I'm going to see what I know from the problem. Tim bakes 24 more muffins than Gina. Okay, but that's not an exact number, so I don't have anything to write down yet. Gina bakes 13 muffins. That's an exact number, so I'm going to say Gina baked 13 muffins. That's a solid number. And then Leah bakes 16 fewer muffins than Tim. Well, if we want to find out how many muffins Leah bakes, we have to know how many Tim bakes, and we don't know that yet. So let's see if we can find out how many Tim bakes. Tim bakes 24 muffins than Gina. Ooh, we can solve that because we know how many Gina baked. So I'm going to do 13 muffins that Gina baked plus the 24 more that it says Tim baked than her. So if I add these together, that's going to tell me how many muffins Tim baked in all, because he baked 24 more than the 13 that Gina baked. So 3 plus 4 is 7, and 1 10 plus 2 10s is 3 10s. So Tim baked 37 muffins. Okay, I know how many muffins Tim baked. I know how many muffins Gina baked. Now I need to figure out how many muffins Leah baked. It says Leah baked 16 fewer muffins than Tim. Remember, fewer means less. So I'm going to take the 37 muffins that Tim baked, and I'm going to subtract 16 because that's how many less Leah baked than Tim. And that's going to tell me how many she baked. So let's see, 7 minus 6. Oh, this is nice and easy. That's 1. And 3 minus 2, or sorry, 3 minus 1 is just 2 10s. So Leah baked 21 muffins. Check that out. She baked 21 muffins. That's our final answer. It says, how many muffins does Leah bake? 21. Fantastic job, friends. You guys are doing a great job with this. Remember, take your time, ladies and gents. I know we want to get our homework done really, really quickly, but if we're going to do really good math as mathematicians, then we have to slow down, read the problems at least once or twice, and find out what we know and what we don't know before we can jump into the math, okay? So make sure you're taking your time when you solve these problems. Let's go look at your homework for today. Okay, here's your homework for today, friends. I want you to go back into the pages that we were just on in our workbooks, page 417, and just do 2 problems. So you're going to do numbers 7 and 8, and they're actually on page 418, but we started our problems on 417. So you're going to go do numbers 7 and 8, which are the only 2 left, and then you're going to go do your quick check. And then after that, you're going to go spend some time on Math Facts Pro. But if you're in my class, you're going to go hop on iReady today, okay? And I will see you guys back here again tomorrow. Bye, friends. Great job today.